Before watching this next episode, click that thumbs up button and subscribe. Please, let's go.
Let's go.
We're still watching you. You got to click it. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere alone and better this time. Who'd I stayed up you all night? And I know the Kings should have won this game tonight.
I feel a lot better now. Oh my gosh, I was in the arena tonight, boys. I felt every single emotion. The highest of highs, the lowest of lows. Very, very, very low in the beginning of the game. Throughout the game, it was just a slow incline, up and up and up and up and up, and I was so close to reaching that apex of the beam. But we witnessed a Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray masterclass, absolute masterclass to destroy us in the final 4 minutes of that game. I'm at a loss for words still. We're recording this about an hour and a half after the game. I've had a lot of time to think about what just happened, and I still can't. I don't feel like destroyed, essentially. That song really helped me, but man, that one hurt. Boys, what did you see in tonight's game?
Man,
how are you feeling? Just start off with how you're feeling.
First of all, welcome back to the KGP, by the way. It's episode 17. Thanks for coming with us on the journey. Yeah, if you're watching this, you're probably just in a state of shock like all of us are. So thank you for tuning in, and just enjoy.
One more thing. We've been getting a lot of comments about this, that whenever people listen in to us after a loss, it's a therapy session. So this will always come out like normally like the morning after a game. And people this is a group therapy session. It really is. And I'm glad that there's people out there that listen and they could feel it. They could feel it in our voices. They could feel it through their through their heart.
To the biggest fans, to the people that just want to see us on our downfall. I think a lot of people just want to tune into our losses, I swear.
We need each other.
The freaking Nuggets, man.
Man, that second half was the most intense Kings back and forth I've ever seen in a long time. It's been a long time since I've seen a finish to a game that exciting. Sucks that we didn't get the win, but I was telling RT before we recorded, I'm discouraged, but we fought our asses off. We played so well. You would hope to think that with a better start, we win that game and we're not, down 20 plus points. But I think without Keegan Murray playing one of the best teams in the West, one of the best cultures, best, teams in the West, tough, right? We almost squeaked it out. And it's encouraging. It sucks that that DeRozan, can't catch a pass. Perfect pass thrown by Sabonis. Love DeRozan, but you got to make that play. It
was a beautiful drawn up play by Mike Brown.
Yeah,
masterclass Mike Brown play right there, but it just
slipped out of his hands.
The game literally slipped out of our hands. That was the game that obviously we should have won that game, but in the very beginning of that game, we did not deserve to be in the game.
Yeah. Quite
literally. First quarter, we allowed the Nuggets to score 41 points on us. We go down 20. It took us 8 minutes to score 10 points in the first quarter. So it was that type of game to start off. The whole arena was very discouraged. I had these two Nuggets fans, of course, right behind me. I'm just hearing them. I'm hearing them the whole game. And it was very frustrating because the way they were talking about their team, it was just like, they were just like, oh yeah, this is like how we play. Like they were just so arrogant about it. I'm just like, my God. And they were laughing at the Kings' downfalls early on in that game. I'm just like, dude, if I hear one thing it's gonna set me off. I'm gonna say something.
Something about the seats behind yours always have opposing teams fans.
Dude.
Like the Phoenix fan we went.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy was
Section
unhinged.
104 is...
They purposely sit behind you.
Yeah. Like Section 104 is not built for the weak. Like if you're not strong to take what is being said by the opposing teams.
Those two Denver fans were probably Warrior fans last year too. That's the funny part. Who knows how long they've been Nuggets fans?
No, I know. Yeah, he was rocking a Mitchell and Ness Denver jersey, which just shows that because Mitchell and Ness makes like the retro jersey, so he he obviously hopped on after they won that championship.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. But that's what I had to deal with the whole night, just hearing these two guys, because that whole first half essentially was just Nuggets domination. I was just hearing them, like the way Nikola plays is just so simple. I'm just like, dude, stop.
Yeah.
And like, dude,
we all know that. Like,
we know, obviously, the greatest player.
I'll tell you what, they were lucky that I was not in attendance tonight. I would have said some words for sure. I would have said some words to them. I just would have. Oh yeah, I would have.
Yeah, it was Maya and I tonight, so we were just trying to enjoy the night. Hopefully,
Maya had to hold you back.
Yeah. We just a funny story about. So Maya bought a cowbell. You know how they give away the free ones?
Yeah.
We went to the team store before the game started, and she bought an actual cowbell. And this thing is like, dude, it's loud. It's like, it's got a piercing ding to it.
Yeah.
Dude, there was this girl in front of us. Every time the cowbells were going off, she was plugging her ear.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, and then the funniest part is she took out her phone and she Googled, is there something wrong with me if I can't handle loud noises? That's what she searched up.
Are you serious?
And like,
why is she at a basketball
game? I'm like,
that close.
You don't want to be sitting behind me. Like, that's for sure.
Like, just avoid all sporting events. Like, if you can't handle noise,
dude, that's like the most broad thing. Loud noises, dude. You can't go anywhere.
Was she with anybody? Like her husband?
She was with her
something?
husband. Yeah, and like, dude, I feel bad for him because he's just trying to. They ended up leaving early, and I'm like, oh. During that car ride home, they
definitely argued for sure. I can't express myself, babe.
She's like, honey, I told you to go get your ears checked.
Yeah. I have to wear earplugs every time I watch the Kings play.
Dude. Yeah. Oh my God. But man, that game, dude. First quarter, for some reason though, I was like, since it's so early on, like I didn't lose hope right away. Being down 20, I'm like, dude, we still have 36 minutes of basketball left. Like the Kings are going to hopefully turn around. And boy, did they. Second quarter happens. The boys were playing out of their minds on the defensive end. We had Colby Jones. He got 18 minutes tonight. He was freaking all over the court tonight. Maya and I were cracking up at the fact that he fell on the ground like 8 times.
Yeah.
And he kept like slipping. I'm like, dude, change your shoes. You're going to get injured out there.
Katie was roasting him on the broadcast.
Was he?
Too.
Yeah. I was like, are we just noticing it or like, are they noticing it too?
Yeah, Colby Jones is too fast for his own feet after the third quarter when he but I mean, he was making plays, dude. He was all over the court. He get
like a steal or a fast break, and like, you know that feeling when you're like running, but like you're running too fast and you have no balance. He did it like twice, and he kept falling over, and it was so funny. But eventually, he finally went over to the check-in area and started like stepping in that sticky stuff to get on the court. But Colby Jones was playing great defensively. Malik Monk and Sabonis with that 2-man game. My God, honestly, all night was unbelievable. Doug McDermott, I think he had back-to-back threes, which was crazy. Shouts out to Doug for getting that starting position, by the way.
Yeah.
And there was one other crazy thing that happened in the second quarter. Keon Ellis, 3 blocks. And I think it was within like a 2-minute span. It was insane.
Just alone in that quarter.
Yeah, in that quarter. 3 blocks in that second quarter, which was crazy. And the best part, the Kings scored 47 points in the second quarter, and we cut the lead to 7 going into halftime, which, my God, dude. If we didn't have that, the game would have been over. It would have been like that Utah Jazz Clippers game tonight.
Oh my God, yeah. And then that blowout. I would have came in tonight a lot more pissed off.
I think we all like the reason why the energy is still very high is because we weren't supposed to be in the game.
No, we played,
let alone almost win it.
I'll talk about like the end of it, where how I felt about overall, like before.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, second quarter. What did you guys see that was so encouraging and game changing for us that game? Like if we didn't have that second quarter, we would have. I think fans would have left early tonight.
I think our defensive intensity really showed in that second quarter, and I think that set the tone for the rest of the game. I think when you watch Keon Ellis, I think the fact that he's not getting enough minutes, and we perch on this we like legitimately say this all the time on the podcast. Like when you give Keon Ellis valuable minutes, consistent minutes, not just minutes, but consistent minutes. You see what he's done. Like he had a very insane plus minus. I mean, throughout the entire game, but especially in that second quarter, where he was just getting deflections, he was getting steals, he was cutting lanes transitionally in offensive setting point, timely shooting, timely buckets.
He had numerous like great looks from the 3-point line tonight.
Timely buckets
in like the same spot, like that elbow.
The elbow, right? Right next to the left elbow.
Yes, dude. Like he was Shouts out Keon.
Shout out Keon,
And
man.
I'm glad that he's like, I think last pod we were talking about how like Kevin Herter, he's starting to become like trying to like embrace that 6-man role. Give it to Keon.
I agree.
Like give Keon
Let
the
Keon
wiggle room to like
Keon
make the
cook.
mistakes and play lots of minutes, because we've seen it on the offensive side. He could hit a bunch of threes when he's open, and he could also play make, and he could defend out of his mind.
Yeah, well, that's the difference from Kevin and Keon but if shots aren't going in for either one, at least Keon's going to bring it defensively. And Kevin's not, he's a capable defender, but when Keon is on the floor, he changes the pace of the game. He changes the flow of the game. Had the highest plus minus on the team. RT, good call with plus
What was
9.
it?
He had
Plus
plus
9,
9.
okay.
4 blocks as a guard. That's huge. Malik Monk had 3
Five.
blocks.
It was
Yeah,
five.
I think
Did they
the
change
final
it?
stat, I'm
Oh, they
seeing is
changed
4.
it. Dang, earlier it was 5.
Yeah. Maybe it got converted to a steal instead.
Oh, maybe.
All right, we'll take it.
But I
take
mean, yeah, so that contribution from a guard, not only that, your guard coming off the bench is huge. And I think that's the biggest difference is if Keon and Kevin shots aren't going in, you still know what you're going to get from Keon. And that's why I love him playing. I love Kevin too. He's a lights out shooter, but you know what you're going to get from Keon even if his shot isn't going in,
I want to talk about, before we get into that second half, let's talk about Doug McDermott. I finally got to see it in person. You guys already saw it.
We saw it on Sunday.
I saw
finally got-
I saw him turn to Steph Curry.
Yeah, you saw it.
the game
we did.
against Utah.
You saw the game of his life.
Yeah.
I got to see a glimpse of what we've just been hoping for out of this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, seeing him in the starting lineup, dude, the fans loved Doug starting.
That's amazing.
He looks like he has his confidence back.
Dude, he plays so
Right?
like when he knows he's gonna get minutes. He had so many DHOs with Sabonis. Like Sabonis literally, like, I think Sabonis was the one bringing it up, and McDermott was in the far corner. He's running at Dougie, and Dougie's like, "This is my chance.
This is my chance,
He gets it, and he hits a beautiful midi, and I'm
Yeah.
like, dude,
His release is so pretty.
He's such a good
He jumps
player.
so high, like he has a high
I agree.
release, and he's just he's so fun to watch.
why
man.
do you think he's not getting consistent minutes this year? Is it the defense? Is that what it is, or?
It's probably like a Kevin Herter situation too. It's like he's not the biggest defender, right? So if shots aren't going in, you need to be able to show that you can contribute in other ways, right? I mean, how many assists did he have? He had no assists, so that sucks. But his shooting was really good. So yeah, but I mean, we'll see if he can grow his game and make more, because if his shot's not going in, we still need him to contribute, right? Whether it's defense, whether it's playmaking, he still needs to contribute.
I think it also like is an example of age. I mean, Doug McDermott has been in the league for so long. Jay Crowder didn't start tonight, and he's also been in the league for so long. So I think what it really boils down to is that Mike Brown wants to play younger players, give younger players an opportunity. And I think those veterans like Jay Crowder and Doug McDermott, they're basically on the team to provide leadership, to provide, just a locker room presence. And when their number gets called, they know how to get the job done. So I think like for both of them, they're in a weird spot right now where it's hard for them to find minutes on the floor, and then they'll be able to produce. And so you have to find other ways. And as a team, you have to find other ways to contribute. Even when you're not getting enough minutes, you have to find ways to contribute, to find players that you can mentor, players that you can basically say, hey, this is how you take care of your body. This is how you handle this, this, and this in the NBA. Because there's no off nights in the NBA. I mean, it's a make or miss league. You have to realize that every game you have to come out, play professional, be a professional, and then once you do that, a lot of good things will happen. So Doug McDermott, I mean, they're just trying to show these young players that like Colby Jones how to just really take advantage of these moments and opportunities for them, and just be that like guiding force for them, especially because those young players, it's hard to be in the NBA. There's 385 spots available, I think, right? So, and there's about a bajillion professional players, in Europe and the G League. So nothing is given, and anybody can come in and take that spot. So I think people like Colby Jones, Isaac Jones are just getting the opportunities they need to just provide themselves a long NBA career.
Yeah, we got to remember too how late we got Doug McDermott. Like we got him right before the season started, right?
You're right, yeah.
So he didn't get enough, and we all know shooters in the NBA need to find their rhythm, need to find their groove, and it's hard to do that when you just get thrown onto a team and then you're expected to, play right away. So it was good. It's good to see vintage Doug McDermott back, and it seems like the DHO with Sabonis is working so well, and he has his confidence even when the shot isn't going in. Lately they have, but it looks like he's confident again shooting, and I feel like it just took him a little bit because he joined our team so late to get that confidence back.
I just want to say, Ryan Clark, that was so incredibly beautifully said what that
It was
whole
eloquent. Yeah.
that was unbelievable. Like you gave me, you can't see it with the jacket. My hair was standing up. RT, you need to sign up for TED Talks. Dude, that was so well said. Very articulate. You hit 5 different points when I asked you just one simple question, and you dove so deep into it.
That's a zoom in moment right there.
No, I no.
Cue the zoom.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, when he was saying this and he kept going on, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, dude, I already know exactly how I'm gonna edit
got the
it.
edit
I already
ready.
know. I've already taken the mental notes of how I'm gonna edit.
He's like a little.
Because like you know how we had the RT's rant. This was like, I don't know what I want to call this yet.
RT speech.
Dude, it was so
It's like a philosophical thing.
philosophical tease or something, dude. It was.
It's like
what
a
you
professor,
said was
professor,
crazy.
professor tease.
Professor
yeah.
tease.
I like that.
What about RT's thoughts?
RT's
RT's
thoughts.
I like that. I like that.
Thoughts with tease.
Thoughts
I
with
like
tease.
it. I like it.
That could go one of two ways.
Yeah.
Pop in the head.
Thoughts with tease could be a podcast term, or thoughts with tease could be a night out at Tiger. You know what I mean?
You don't want to see this guy pull up to
Dude.
You do
Cupra's.
not want to see this
You
guy.
don't want to see this guy
No.
at the balcony at
Oh,
Cupra's.
the cabin. Oh, the
the
cabin.
cabin.
Dude.
Dude.
Dude,
cabin-
the
the
security
cabin
knows who
bar.
he is at every
The
single
cabin
bar
bar.
inside.
Yeah.
The cabin
This guy-
bar. That was a wild night.
Yeah, I
This
just
guy cuts all the lines.
I don't want to take away from what you said, but
No, but deservingly so.
what he said was crazy, and I'm sure people always say, dude, RT knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So do you, Johnny. So do I.
We all do. We all
but
do.
Thanks,
just
man.
just in that moment, I was
No,
like,
a lot of
my
emotion.
God.
Yeah, that was emotional.
RT.
Thank you.
So yeah, I hope Doug McDermott. I want to like clip that and send it to Doug McDermott's team just to be like, hey,
Watch this
you're
before
a
the
true
Laker
vet.
game.
Yeah, like this is the motivation you need, dude. But yeah, I think that was again, RT. I just had to give you another compliment
Thank you.
because
I
my
appreciate
God, that
that.
was crazy.
Appreciate that.
That was it. Just sounded so beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we could dive into the third quarter. So at this point in the game where we cut the lead from, I think we were down at the most by 24 and we cut it to 7 going into the third quarter. Actually, before we mention that, I got to talk to you guys about this halftime show. You know,
Oh,
his name was
man.
Kevin, the chin balancer.
Is he the guy that puts like ladders and stuff on it? Dude.
Dude, I kept calling him the Crimson Chin. Dude, the Crimson Chin. Dude, he was getting like... Honestly, I think he helped bring the Kings back into that game.
Oh, yeah.
What did he put up there? What did he put
Okay.
up there?
Fired him up.
I think he started off with... honestly, I don't remember what he started off with because I was just so mind blown the whole time. But the things that stood out to me: bicycle on the chin.
We're talking mountain bike.
We're talking a cruiser bike, cruiser bike on the chin. We're talking
No.
we're talking tall ladder. We're talking step ladder
What?
or like ladder when it's on both sides on the chin. He did. Oh my God, what was the craziest one? There were so many crazy moments, but dude, this guy's got chin of the year, dude. Chin of the year.
Like, how
Shouts
do you
out
find
Kevin.
out you're good at that? You know, like what? Like,
Dude, and the best part was they would do this like bird's eye view shot of him, and you just see him like dialed in. Like he's like, dude, that's gotta hurt your skull, you
For
know,
sure.
like the pressure on the chin.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy's
How is
got
he
a
alive?
mandible. I've never seen a mandible like his in my life.
yeah, he
Dude.
probably eats like really fast. Like,
Dude,
he probably
he-
scarfs down food.
You know,
with that jaw.
Joey Chestnut's jealous of his skills. You know, dude, he was just a spark plug, I think. So I had to shout out Kevin, the chin man.
Kevin the Chin Man.
And then they brought him out for the fourth quarter when when Slamson does the "It's your quarter fourth."
Oh, yeah.
The noise sign was being balanced on Kevin's
Oh
chin
my God!
too.
I watched. I
They're like,
remember.
this
I
guy
watched
needs an
that
encore.
I watched that on the streaming
You saw
service.
it?
Yeah, on the streaming
Bleak
service.
House.
Good,
Yeah, because
good.
on the streaming. Because I'll have another rant for like YouTube TV and like
Oh,
cable and all
dude.
stuff, and like how like
That's a
how
hot topic right
screwed-
now. It's a very
how
hot. We should
screwed-
talk about it after though, because
Yeah.
that deserves to be talked
Yeah.
about. Okay, now after Kevin walks off, standing ovation, of course. Third quarter begins. So, what stood out to me was Malik. Malik third quarter.
I agree.
I think that's when I got the text from you, and I think RT as well. You guys were.
Yeah.
It was like almost a fish grease alert.
For sure.
Another thing that stood out to me was just again Colby Jones hitting the floor like crazy. He was all over the court tonight, and like I said earlier, 18 minutes. Like I think these were very valuable minutes for Colby because I think we've started to realize that he's not going to score the ball, but if he could go out there and defend and
Be a star in your role.
like that is what we need from him. Like I think he's starting to see like if I'm playing hard defense like this, Mike's going to get me minutes, and I think that's what worked tonight. Another thing, we scored 33 points in the third quarter, and we got the lead up to 7 at the end of the third quarter. So that third quarter was a huge turnaround point for us. Second and third quarter, unbelievable by the Sacramento Kings. What did you guys see?
Yeah, third quarter is about when I woke up from my halftime nap, and so I was encouraged to see we were winning. But let's just talk about how physical that game was. And I think the third quarter, I mean, the whole game was physical, but man, Russ, DeAndre Jordan's trying to turn back time and dunk on us.
Dude, that was crazy.
That was crazy, and he almost did.
He almost did.
He really
He almost did it on Domas.
I haven't seen
And
him
Sabonis
jump
almost
that high.
did it to someone else tonight too.
Yeah,
Dude.
Sabonis playing with a hurt ankle.
Oh, when he fell, did you see him when he fell on his back? I think that
Yeah.
was third quarter too.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Man.
When they showed that on the big screen slow mo, oh my god! I thought he was definitely not going to play after that.
Yeah. That's what stood out to me. I mean, it was that pace of that game. I mean, it continued through the fourth quarter, but the pace starting in the third with the physicality and just the back and forth scoring was really fun to see. It was good to see we held the lead. Just didn't get timely stops in the fourth, but that third quarter was the most physical I've seen us play this season, and that's why I'm so encouraged. Even though we didn't get the win, is like we're able to compete against the best teams in the West.
I think
the
we
best teams
played,
in the league.
and I'll also say it now. I think we played an A game, and I think the Denver Nuggets played an A+ game. Like it was
sure.
like a 94% we did, and then the Nuggets played like a 96% game.
I mean, they're
So-
who they are for a reason.
They've been
right?
defending. They were champs. They're champs.
They have the
2 years
best
ago.
player
You
historically.
could be called champs for as long as you win. You can be called champs.
They have an MVP front runner.
Right. And they have a player that's historic, like he's having a historical season stat.
He's having better stats than the previous
Ever.
years where he's
Ever.
won.
Yeah.
Ever.
And he's won 3 MVPs.
Ever.
Correct.
Most-
30-point
Yeah.
triple-double, shooting 50% from 3.
He's had like the most
Unbelievable.
efficient
that's his
start.
season
Yes.
average
Yeah.
right
yes.
now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw a Jimmy
Yes.
High Roller video. This is like the best start stat wise in NBA history that anyone's ever.
Yes.
He has a 30-point triple double.
30-point triple, averaging.
Season average, shooting 50%.
From 3.
And his win shares are insane.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it's
record-breaking.
incredible. It's incredible.
I guess I haven't been keeping up with Jokic's stats. I mean, I assume they would be high, but not like that.
Yeah,
I've been
it's
watching
insane.
a lot. I've been watching a lot of League Pass, and the Nuggets have been like the number 1 team on my League Pass. What Jokic does on a nightly basis is
Yeah.
amazing.
His,
And
his advanced analytics are crazy.
it's nuts, and
Like,
it's his best season yet.
Yeah.
Especially after winning 3 MVPs.
Dude, but going into this game, the Nuggets, they stood at what, 14 and 11?
they
I think
were
3 games above 500.
They were 13 and 10.
Yeah,
Wait,
13 and 10. Or
yeah, 13 and 10 after before coming into this.
okay,
game.
so
they're
now they're 14 and 10.
now.
Yeah, so the same, like, I think Denver's underperforming compared to like what obviously they're expecting. Same with us, you know, like that's why I thought, and obviously like from the past games, like we match up excellent against Denver. Like every single Denver game is must watch basketball, and so was tonight. I'm sure every League Pass fan out there was probably tuning into that fourth quarter because it was insane. But speaking of Jokic, first half, third quarter, Sabonis was owning that matchup. Like I think Sabonis had close to 20 points in the third quarter, and he almost and a double-double. Whereas Jokic, obviously, his stats spread a little bit further than Sabonis's. He gets points, rebounds, and assists every single night, and I think he didn't have over 10 going into the fourth quarter. So we were managing him very, very well that entire game up until the freaking end. But yeah, I thought that was. I kept looking up at the scoreboard. I'm like, dude, like we're keeping Jokic in check. It's everyone else that's killing us. Like Aaron Gordon in that first quarter.
Yep.
And then, dude, you know who was a Kings killer tonight? Julian Strother.
Yeah, Strother was really solid.
Oh my god!
On the glass, he was basically just getting second chance points on the glass. He was being a pest, defensively. Guess what he is? A long defensive wing. So,
dude, does he play the 2?
he plays the 2, so he's like a 6.
Dude,
he's like 6'7".
A big wing.
He's that big?
I don't know.
No way.
I don't know.
I thought he
I
was
don't
way
know.
shorter, but
I
you
don't
know who he reminds
6'5",
me of?
6'6"? Yeah.
He's
I
6'6".
feel like Denver utilized him tonight how we use Malik Monk in the past 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Coming off the bench and just providing that spark, and they run plays
Oh, that's
through
a good
him.
comparison.
And that's exactly what I thought of. I'm like, dude, I mean, I knew Strother was good going into this game, but he played unbelievable. Like coming off the bench, like he was killing us tonight.
Yeah. They have like another guy like Tyson. He's like 6'7",
Oh
6'8".
yeah, that guy.
He's like another. I mean, DeMar was kind of cooking him though.
Oh yeah. Well, he actually stopped DeMar twice in a row at one point, but the other guy that was killing us, Peyton Watson.
Yeah, Peyton
dude.
Watson.
And he was talking to the bench, to the Kings fans courtside. He was all in that first half. He was just talking. But yeah, that whole Denver team is hard to beat. But another guy we need to talk about, Russell frickin' Westbrook. He was playing so aggressive. Like, the way he was driving into the basket, like, dude, I don't want to guard that.
He turned the clock back.
He's the one that turned the clock back.
Well,
same with
Jamal Murray also turned the clock back, yeah.
And Jamal Murray's been having a very off year.
He had 15 points in the fourth quarter.
I know.
Oh.
Like, going in, like, first 3 quarters, we had him and Jokic, like, contained.
Yeah.
MPJ contained. I think he only finished the game with 11 points. It was those other guys that were killing us throughout the whole game, but then at the end, which we'll talk about now.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So we go into the game, into the fourth quarter, up 7. At the 4-minute mark, the Kings are up 10. And want to know what happened after that? It was very back and forth, but what Denver did, this was the stat I wanted to tell you guys. Because I didn't realize it when I was watching it, but it makes so much sense.
I watched it on kind of a gut feeling.
So the score, I think it was like 119-109. So the Kings are up 10. To finish the game with 4 minutes left, Denver scores 21 points, going 7 for 7 from the field, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. So they scored 21 points, no misses in the final 4 minutes of the game.
Jesus, dude.
So when I'm watching it, I'm like, dude, like, I'm just seeing that lead from 10 just slowly go. Like, they're just cutting into it. And then when I get home and I look at the stat and I see that stat and I'm like, no wonder why we couldn't.
It sucks, man. It's the saying too. It's like, I think, not that we're a bad team, but it's like bad teams find a way to lose games, and it sucks. It sucks that it has to happen that way.
I think another thing that what I saw from the game too, especially during that last 5 minutes, Mike Malone adjusted the defense to a zone defense, and I think the Kings struggled to find a way to beat that zone defense. I think,
especially in the last 2 minutes, our offense was not clicking.
No, it was not clicking.
They built a wall.
And especially in that zone defense, because they were like, okay, we're going to force Sabonis to make mid ranges, and he made one in that first stint that he had in that first 5 minutes. In the last 5 minutes, Sabonis hit like a nice mid range jumper that was like very solid. But like that's the same thing as like they are like trying to force us to shoot, and we're a solid shooting team. We're not like this team that's going to just kill you like the Warriors that have just this outstanding shooting. We're not like the Boston Celtics. I don't know what other elite shooting 3-pointer teams are there in the NBA, but like I think what makes Denver a really good team is that they exploit. I feel like we've struggled against zone defense.
Oh, we always do.
Always do. And I think
just NBA in general.
The NBA is, they don't know how to stop a zone defense.
Zone is just, you kind of shoot out of it.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, like, what do you think is the perfect way to beat a zone?
Just shoot.
And like what we did tonight is what we do every single night in the final 5 minutes of the game is we go to Fox and DeRozan, and when you go just play that ISO, and then like they're not getting the shot that they want, then they pass to Sabonis at the elbow. What was working the entire game was when Malik Monk had the ball in his hand and he was getting that 2-man game involved, and like he just play makes. And when Mike Malone made that excellent coaching change that you pointed out, that's where the Kings crumbled, and that's where we couldn't score at the end of the game, and that's when they turned into their masterclass selves, Jokic and Murray. So
yeah.
But my God, let's talk about, there were some huge plays that happened during that 21 points that Denver had. We were so I think like Jokic hits a big 3, but then we answer, or no, I think was it Fox hits the big 3 and then Jokic hits the big 3. Yep. And then I think Sabonis ended up hitting a 3 right at the end, and then Jamal hits a 3. Yep. So they were just answering everything we had, and it was going like from a tie game to a Kings 1-point lead. Then they'd make a 3, they're up 2, then we tie it up 2. So it was like,
and there was like there was a DeRozan dunk too.
Oh my God, I was not expecting that at all when he dunked that. And that was with like 20 or 30 seconds left.
I think so.
That put us up 1.
Yeah, so that put us up 1, and then Jamal Murray hits the free throw shot. My God. And he gave us plenty of time to work, 8 seconds.
And it's literally the same play that DeMar dropped the ball. It's literally the same play except on the opposite side that he's coming from. So if he catches that cleanly, it's an easy dunk.
No, and like it was such a beautifully ran play. It's just, they collapsed on him. I don't know if he got nerve. I don't know what happened, but at least we got the ball back. And I was still really confident in that turnaround shot that he took.
Yeah.
Because like I think there's like 2 seconds left. He curls underneath the hoop, and he gets a beautiful look. I thought it was going in.
That would have been incredible.
And it was just, he shot it a little too hard, and then Jokic bats it out. And
Can you imagine a DeRozan buzzer
dude,
beater? That would have been electric,
he's due for
dude.
one. I thought this was the night.
That would have been awesome.
I was so ready to turn around to those Nuggets fans. I was ready. I was waiting all night. I was like keeping my cool. I'm like, I'm just gonna hear them talk the whole night, and then I was gonna turn around and just give him the shrug. I was so excited for it.
The Jordan shrug.
Oh,
Dude,
I
I
know.
had to. I was like waiting for it. I'm like, dude,
Or
the
do like
Kings
the
are gonna
wave,
fight
do
back.
the wave or something
Do a
like that.
little, like
yeah,
one
the
of
Damian
these,
Lillard
Damian
wave.
Lillard, dude. I had it all planned out.
It was hard to see on TV how, like if he lost the ball, if it went out of bounds, but the fact that he was still able to kind of get it together and still shoot it was kind of shocking. I didn't expect it. I thought he'd turn the ball over, it was going to bounce out of bounds or lose it or something. So yeah, it was kind of like weird to see on TV. Like we still have a chance to win this, and then it bounced out.
And then like as a righty shooter, turning to your right side, that's a tough shot.
Yeah,
but I feel like he can make that, and I bet he's gonna watch that back and be like, my God, like he knows he can make that shot.
Yeah,
but. Excellent play call at the end. Like we can't really be too upset about the outcome of that game because we fought back. Like we were not supposed to be in that game. There's so many times when a team is down over 20 and like you can't climb back out of that. Like there's been so many times even this season where not even so many times, but there's been a time when we were down by so much and we just couldn't climb back into it. But we cut it before the third quarter even started. So that was huge. I know people don't like moral victories, but I think there was so much good tonight. But
there was a lot of good.
So much good tonight, and I think defensively we played a lot better. I think the offensive glass needed some work in that first half. But besides that, I think we played an excellent game and against an excellent team in the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, I think if we win the rebound battle of that game, I think we win this game because we got out rebounded 55-42. Mm-hmm. Denver's known to have a big team. They're known to crash the boards.
Aaron Gordon's just a tough matchup for any team.
MPJ is a solid rebounder too.
Yeah, they're both over 6'8". So
I think this was the game that you definitely missed Keegan Murray the most because of that. Because Keegan matches up with really, really well, and I've been harping it on the podcast that he's been rebounding the ball very well for someone his size. I talked about him getting double doubles and already him matching his double doubles from last year. And so just continuing that consistency, continuing that defensive. Yeah, this was a game that we definitely needed Keegan Murray, and bummer that he couldn't play because of a left ankle soreness. But, I rather would have him healthy for the bigger games that are important. So
we're going to talk about those in a second because there's a few other things I want to talk about. Let's talk about the stats first. DeRozan, 17. Doug McDermott, 16 points. 4 3-pointers. Sabonis, my God, 28 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists. Malik Monk, one of the most impactful players on the Sacramento Kings, 25 points, 10 assists, 3 blocks. I think that's his third double-double of the season. And it's probably all in the starting lineup.
I think so,
one
right?
One of them was not.
One of them wasn't.
Fox, 29 points, 7 assists, and then Keon Ellis, him and Colby Jones, if we won that game, I think they both would have got the crown. The first ever double crown in Kings history. Yeah. And he had 12 points, 2 steals, 4 blocks. Oh, I guess it was 4. So it was 5 at one point, but then they changed it.
Yeah, it said 5 on TV at one point.
And then let's go to Denver's side. It was Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Jamal, and Westbrook. Those were the guys that killed us. They had so Jokic, 20 points, 14 rebounds, 13 assists, which is lower than his averages in points, which is great. Aaron Gordon, 24 points, Jamal, 28 points, Westbrook, 18 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists. So almost triple-double. So that was insane. He was playing unbelievable. I'm like, of course he plays like that against us. But these are the things
Jamal Murray plays well against us when he's having a very bad season. Like,
I know.
What?
I think Fox played great defense on him too.
Yeah, I think he takes that Fox matchup personally. I mean, 2 Kentucky guys. He wants to prove he's one of the best guards in the league. Fox probably gets more attention individually, so
definitely
he gets up for that Fox matchup. I think.
But like Fox was guarding him great.
He was making tough shots.
Like that free throw shot, for example. Fox was all over him. And we've seen Jamal do this in the past in those playoff matchups with the Lakers, where it's like he almost like loses the ball, right? But he loses it in the spot where he wants to shoot it. Like that baseline shot against AD, and then this one against us, like he like loses the ball to a point where it leads to a perfect shot for him.
Yeah.
And I was just really hoping that hit back rim. It'd be a much different conversation if we won this game. But I mean, the Kings fought and it was crazy. But here are the things that I think is crazy. Ready for this?
So
We've played 27 games this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
16 games have been clutch games. So within 5 points in the last 5 minutes. We are 6 for 10 in those games. And I bet you if we were to have all those 16 games pulled up, we would remember how we lost those games and like one thing could have changed the game. So we're 6 and 10 in the clutch games, which is just so unfortunate because all those games should be, it's a coin flip, Yeah. So, and then we're still the top 10 offense and we have a top 15 defense. So you can't argue with that. I mean, like you can't, I'm sorry, argue. You can argue that, but you can't complain about that. Like that's pretty great.
Yeah.
But with being a top 10 offense and a top 10 or top 15 defense, we're still under 500. We're 13 and 14. But the craziest stat of them all is the one that we talked about before recording. We've lost 9 games by within 5 points, and out of those 9 games, 5 of them have been by 3 points. So all of our games are like within. They're all nail biters.
Yeah,
every game is
Cardiac Kings, man.
Yeah,
Cardiac Kings.
It's also interesting because we have like a plus point differential.
We do
That's
+3.
Yeah, which is insane for a team that's under 500.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
The only other teams are like the Cavs,
top teams,
Celtics,
the top teams in the East, and then top teams in the West.
And then there's us, who are at, let's see, we're probably like 20th ranked in the NBA, and we have that. It's all red with the deficit teams, and there's that green +3 with the Kings.
Yeah, we haven't gotten blown out in any games this year, really. I mean,
think
the Thunder game, it was 21 points, but other than that, 11 points.
Yeah.
Clippers was 15 points. So it's like we haven't lost by like 20 or 30 to many teams.
No.
So yeah, the losses are all.
I know it's crazy, dude. Like it's just one of those seasons where it's like you don't know what's gonna happen. It's like we're 6 for 8 at home this year. You'd love to see that turn around, especially with who we got playing on Thursday and Saturday. We got Lakers back-to-back games at home, which is going to be an electric atmosphere. It's going to be crazy because, those Laker fans, they try to fill our arena up, and there's going to be some fights, I'm sure. There's going to be some banter. It's going to be a crazy game on the court and off the court. So my biggest takeaway from just Kings versus Laker games in general, I think Sabonis just has to own that AD matchup, which he's so good at doing. I think he's 10-1 against Sabonis all time. I just get Sabonis the ball and make AD defend, because obviously AD is a good defender. He could block shots, but he does not like when players are physical with him, and that's what Sabonis is so good at. What are you excited to see in the Kings versus Lakers matchup?
Yeah, we got to bring the physicality, not just Sabonis, but everyone on our team needs to. Coming off that Nuggets loss, even though we lost to them, it was nice to match a team's physical toughness. So we got to, give the punch early. I keep saying this on every episode, but we got to give the first punch to teams early. We can't go down by 20 like we did against Denver tonight. We got to be the main aggressor. We can't let their role players get comfortable. Can't let Don't Connect get comfortable.
Nope.
They got a lot of players that can hit shots. They have LeBron and AD, obviously. So I think if we attack them early and we show them, hey, you guys, you can't push us around, I think we have a good chance of winning. And I'm glad that even though the Denver loss ended the way it did, I'm encouraged to see that our physicality is back on our team.
The Lakers are going to come to play against us. These are 2 games that I'm sure in their head they think they could get on us, but in our head, I think we see them as we could get to back-to-back wins as well. The Lakers, before playing us on Thursday, they're going to have a 3-day break because the last game they played was on Sunday. So they have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, and then they play us on Thursday. It's a quick, less than an hour flight for them. So, LeBron, he missed those 2 games. He was like away from the team for a little bit, and he played on Sunday in a win against the Grizzlies. So they're coming into Sacramento with a win on their back, and I think this is like we're going to see a good version of LeBron because one, he tends to play pretty well against us, and he has a lot of time off. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how we match up against him. Is Keegan Murray going to be the guy defending him? I think he was the main guy defending him the first matchup earlier this year. Who knows? But I think that's the one thing where we are going to struggle with. If LeBron plays a physical game like driving to the basket, we do have trouble with that. But if we could just force him to shoot the ball, I think we'll be
As long as he doesn't go crazy.
Like, because remember what happened last time? He went crazy. I think he scored. Was it 14?
He was perfect
in a
from the
row
field
in the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah,
Him and AD were. That's what it was.
It was-
Wow,
they
that
were-
feels like forever ago.
Yeah, I know.
But that's not going to happen again. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. I can't find wood to knock on, so
The ground.
floor.
yeah,
right here. Yes. It's gonna be a tough game either way. I mean, for both teams, but the boys are gonna get up for that game. This back-to-back was circled on the calendar right before Christmas. These will be the 2 games before Christmas Day for the Sacramento Kings. So
It's a season changer, right? You win against your rival team back-to-back games. That's a season changer. So, hopefully our morale gets boosted after these next 2 games.
I hope so.
But I think the players in the locker room and the Kings locker room see this as an opportunity to not only get above 500, but to build camaraderie and show themselves that we can compete with the best teams in the league. Right?
But it's definitely going to be a playoff atmosphere.
Yeah.
Whenever we play the Lakers, it's always just the intensity is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
De'Aaron is always playing incredible games. And I think Malik Monk is going to have a great game too. He's been having an unbelievable stretch of games ever since entering that starting lineup. So I can't wait to see how it all unfolds against a pretty good defensive team in the Lakers. But they're so glad that we don't ever have to be a Laker fan because they're going through some stuff right now too.
Yeah.
So we're getting them at an interesting time where they had a tough stretch of losses. They're bouncing back. JJ Redick was smiling for day one on the job, and now he's just that guy's getting gray hairs. That guy's stressed right now. So the Lakers will do that to you. So I'm very interested to see how those 2 games unfold, and we'll be having some fun on Saturday night after the game. We'll be having a very special episode coming out on that Sunday of this week with the Kings versus Lakers duel. So that's going to be very fun. We have Laker fans flying in from the LA area to come to this game with me, and then we're going to have them here on the pod right after the game or that night after the game. It's going to be very, very fun. So we have that to look forward to. But then that game will be on the 21st, and we don't play again until the 25th. So we have a nice stretch of days off, which is great for the Kings. They get to be home with their families. They don't have to miss Christmas or anything.
No, then we have the back-to-back.
Oh, you're so right. Yeah, we
21st and the 22nd.
22nd is the Pacers.
Yep.
Yes. Thank
and
you,
then we
TZ.
get 4 days off.
Then we get the 4 days off. I knew there was a break somewhere. But yeah,
Yeah.
we have a Saturday-Sunday game, which is pretty rare. We don't really have those at home that often in the year. But that's going to be just as
another
fun.
big game.
That's gonna be just as fun because even though it happened a while ago, that Tyrese Halliburton and DeMontis Sabonis exchange is still fresh in fans' heads, and the media likes to talk about it. So we're going to talk about it. Tyrese Halliburton, he's started to finally turn it around, but he's having an off year by his standards. My God.
Yeah.
He's fallen off a little cliff.
I remember we were talking about the top 25 players in the NBA, and he was ranked
16th, I think.
16th. Where is he ranked now in your head?
I'd probably say closer to like 29 or 30.
Yeah, I agree. I'd say 29.
Yeah, I'd put him in the 30s because there's a lot of guys that were in the 30s in that ranking.
Yeah.
Cough, LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
And a lot of others that are playing much better. And they're actually impacting winning, whereas Tyrese's game, he is getting, and finally in the past couple games, he's been getting those like double-doubles and points and assists. But the Pacers I think they're 12 and 15 at the time of this recording.
Yeah.
So they're
Siakam's carrying them.
but they're still in the 7th seed or 8th seed in the East, which is just ridiculous. They're
Sounds like the East. Just like,
Still
but that's
conferences.
gonna be such a great game because I'm hoping Tyrese is healthy to play in that game because you never know. He always is hurt, but I really hope that we could get that Fox versus Halliburton matchup, that Sabonis versus Miles Turner matchup. They're 2 very similar teams, and I think that game is going to be so much fun to watch. And I think with how the Pacers have been playing so inconsistent, I think the Kings got that one in the bag as well. And what do you guys think about the Pacers? And what do we need to look out for?
We just got to stop their offense. That's what you got to do. Like we talked about this before with Jokic. We just got to just be able to stop him stop Tyrese as a playmaker.
Make him shoot.
Make him shoot.
Make that man shoot.
Just don't let the other players get hot and play solid, sound defense.
yeah, Indiana's kind of like Denver, right? They got a lot of huge bigs, right? Miles Turner, obviously, Siakam. I feel like if we win the rebound battle, we're physical, right? Again, I think we have a good chance of winning, but Pacers are tough. You know,
I
they
think
have
it's the role
Halliburton,
players that we
Nembhard.
got to watch out for.
Yeah, and Siakam's been a pest this season. So if we can keep him and Miles Turner off the boards, I think we have a good chance. But
That's a good point.
we're going to need some good minutes from Alex Len, I think, that game. Sabonis, obviously. Keegan's needs to have another good rebounding
Let's just
game.
hope that his ankle's okay, because that was a late scrap. Like, we got that news about his ankle like
This morning.
So
he was probably
this
able to
morning?
warm up.
I think it was this morning.
I got it. I got it late then. Yahoo
didn't see it till later.
Yahoo Fantasy told me at like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know, but hopefully
it's
he's
just
good.
Yeah, something that doesn't linger because we're going to need him against Indiana. Indiana's big, long pause. But
We're just
we're going to need Keegan that game for sure.
Oh, man.
Last time we played Indiana at home, Tyrese did not play.
Oh,
and it was the
God.
TJ McConnell masterclass game. So hopefully I
yeah,
was
this
saying,
is
those
gonna be slow down.
those Indiana Pacers role players like Benedict Mathurin, what's his name? Obi Toppin's been playing great.
Obi
Toppin's
Toppin's
been
solid.
playing good, and then the other guy,
Neesmith?
oh my, yeah, dude. There's so many like role players on that team that could go off on any given night, and yeah, Tyrese gets bailed out a lot. You know, like when
For sure.
when like Fox or Monk or DeRozan have a bad game, we're probably not going to win. But
Every other
it's
Pacer
the opposite
game.
effect for the Pacers when.
Yeah, every other Pacer game I see, Halliburton gets carried by McConnell. So it's, we
know.
just can't let McConnell get hot, can't let Nembhard get hot. Because, I mean, TJ McConnell's going to put Tyrese in his backpack, if that's the case. So because we know Tyrese doesn't want to shoot the
Oh,
ball.
my God. If Tyrese scores...
We know he doesn't.
Listen, if Tyrese scores 50, I will be doing and they beat us, I will be doing
Archie's gonna have a solo pod.
If Tyrese scores 50 points...
I'll have like a shower video clip and me like being sad with like my Kings gear and hats and all that stuff. Yeah,
I'll run around McKinley in my boxers. If Tyrese scores 50, I'll do it. But if Sabonis scores 40, I don't know what I'd do, but that'd be really cool.
Yeah, we'll go to the Sawyer and we'll find Tyrese Halliburton's room and we'll give him. Yeah, we'll do something. Yeah, but that's gonna be man. I'm very excited for that Pacers game. And then yes, after that, so that's the 22nd, 23rd off, Christmas Eve off, Christmas game. I wish we had a game off, and then we play Detroit basketball. I'm very excited for that game. Me and Geck will be in town. Geck and I, my brother, are going to be going to the Pistons game. I was like, every year I always give him a Kings game as a Christmas gift, and I'm like, you know what game he's going to love? The Pistons. And that's like, it's an ongoing joke between me and Geck, because remember when they had that terrible year with all the Wingstop? All the wings, the no Wingstop
curse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Geck and I were like, we were just loving that so much. So we have a deep love for the Pistons. So me and Geck will be at that game. But that should be. I mean, obviously they're a much better team, and with their new coach and with Tobias Harris and Tim Hardaway, they're a much better team. Cade Cunningham's having a great year. Kings gotta win that one, right?
Gotta win. Must win.
It's a must win.
Like, I don't even really want to dig too deep in the Pistons game because, like, we know who they have, but our team is a better team than the Pistons.
I agree.
We should not. We can't slip a game to the Pistons.
Pistons, they won tonight against Miami in overtime,
Yeah.
so they're not slouches.
Win. No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're a good team, but like still,
We should take care of business.
That's a game where you see it on the calendar and you just automatically put a W next to it. Yeah. After the Pistons. When's the next game, RT? The 28th?
Then, I think we go on the road.
Is that the Laker game again?
I think that's the Lakers, right? Yeah, that's the Lakers.
Yeah, so listen to this. We play the Lakers 3 times in
9 days?
in a full week for the 20. No, oh, yeah, you're right. The first game's the 19th. So 19th to 20. Yeah, 9 days. RT, God, you're quick.
3 games.
3 games in 9 days. So that's 2 of them are at home, and then that last one is in LA. So I mean, we've talked about the Lakers enough, but we love playing them in LA. Yep. So that's the other thing. Like, I feel more confident about that game than I do than the home games.
Oh yeah.
So that one, I would love to see a Kings go 3 and out on those Lakers, because they stole one from us in the beginning of the season.
That's a season changer, man. Yeah, if we're able to win those 3 against the Lakers coming up,
because those are statement wins. Those ones, like, you remember, like those ones you remember. Oh, like, remember when Fox scored 40 against the Lakers? Like, you remember those games. Yeah. And then finally, we come back home to end the year, day before New Year's Eve, against the frickin'
Dallas
I
Mavericks.
would say red hot, but their jersey colors are blue. The blue hot Mavs, man.
Blue hot Mavs.
My God, I watched the the Warriors Mavericks game.
That was the 45.
Was that
Luka,
last night?
I think it was the Luka 45-point game, right? And he had a triple-double.
He had a 40-point triple-double in the third quarter.
Yeah.
That was they scored almost 50 points in the first quarter. It was a freaking Luka legendary game. He almost had a triple-double in the halfway through the second quarter. It was unbelievable. He was playing incredible. Klay Thompson made 7 threes that game. They get production out of everyone. Him and Kyrie are playing unbelievable duo basketball right now, and they just have such a great roster. So Dallas plays so good against us our arena.
Oh yeah.
So
Luka takes that matchup personally.
he does, and he points at Vlade. It's like, dude, there's still Luka holds on to that for some reason.
He remembers that dinner he had, man, with Vivek and Vlade. He remembers. And they told him, we want you.
I mean, I know we didn't talk about preseason awards and all that on the show because this is more of a Kings related podcast, but going into the season, I thought Luka was going to be the favorite to win MVP. That's not the case because Jokic is just putting up a 30-point triple-double with just insane stuff. Doesn't take away from what Luka's been doing right now because Luka has just been a monster in his own category. So, you just got to just hope and pray that Luka doesn't show up. And then if you thought that was a problem, Kyrie Irving is going to be there. There's Klay Thompson. There's Derek Lively.
Their bigs are great.
There's Najee Marshall.
Most underrated signing, I think, in the NBA.
I think the Mavericks had the most underrated signings. And I think I think they are the favorites in the West right now. Yeah. I think they are. Over the Thunder, I would probably take the Mavericks.
That's got to be 1 and 2, right?
I would personally lean Mavericks just because Luka is the best player on the court, and I think their experience is slightly better than the Thunder. That's just my personal take, but you can take it how...
making it to the finals gives you 10 extra experience points.
So, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I think the Mavericks game is one of those things where you just hope and pray, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we could game plan as much as we want, but if Luka or Kyrie, one of those guys, even Klay, one of those guys goes off, that is count your blessings, Kings fans. That's going to be a tough game to win. I think that's just us being honest, but I'm
glad we get to play the Lakers first.
Do you have do you think me and RT are being a little bit... We're not giving the Kings a chance in this one, or what do you think?
I mean, I think the Kings have showed this year that we can go toe to toe with the best teams in the league.
I do agree with that.
I agree with that.
Not only Denver, but Miami, right? Just we've played well against good teams. We just need to lock it in. I'm glad that we're seeing Dallas after some huge tests against the Lakers. 3 tests against the Lakers.
You're right. That should help us.
It should help our confidence, right? I'd feel a little bit more uneasy if we played them. Tomorrow or something,
or the
game fresh off the Denver game.
The beginning of the season. Oh god,
I'd be a little bit more uneasy.
I think the reason why I feel very uneasy is because I just watched that Warriors Mavericks game. So that is my clearest memory of the Mavericks as of right now. Mm-hmm. My god,
yeah, because I think we're going to be prepped. I really think we're going to be prepped with the matchups that we have with the Lakers, Pacers, and Pistons.
So we Lakers again. You have Keegan guarding Luka.
I think so.
De'Aaron on Kyrie.
I think that has to be the matchup.
And then DeMar on Klay.
Yeah.
And then Sabonis guarding Gafford, Lively whenever they exchange. Haven't they been? Oh, no, Lively's been starting for them.
Yeah.
And then...
I think PJ Washington start. I don't know if PJ... Does PJ Washington start for them? I think they do.
Wasn't he hurt?
Maybe... I think Najee's out right now. Or is he? I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude... They're deep. And
Quentin Grimes, too.
Quentin Grimes could hit threes. Dude, that's just going to be a tough game. But I think if we just execute the Mike Brown playbook, hopefully... Because Mike Brown was not happy after tonight's game. He was very upset about the lack of offensive rebound, or us allowing offensive rebounds in the first quarter. And he said that snowballed into a loss tonight.
Yeah, I agree.
The Mavericks are an amazing team at grabbing offensive rebounds on the glass with Derek Lively and Gafford, and when they're in the game together, they are, my God.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a tough 6 games, but luckily 5 of them are at home. Actually, I don't even know if I want to say luckily because we're 6-8 at home this year.
Yeah.
We're better on the road, which 2 seasons in a row, but
I mean, 3, low key.
Maybe three. But you'd like to think at home the Kings play with a different type of intensity, which I think they do. It just doesn't result in wins, unfortunately.
No.
But yeah, so that's the 6 games to end the calendar year. We won. Who was our last game before this? Before the Nuggets?
Pelicans,
right? Yeah.
So after the Pelicans win, we went 13-13, and we thought, this is the start of the season. The fresh start is what Johnny called it.
Still is.
Fresh start.
So if we want to call it the spark of the new season, we're 0-1 to start, right?
Yep.
We have 6 games to end the year. What are your predictions? With 3 Laker games, 1 Pistons game, 1 Dallas game, and 1 Pacers game, what is your prediction to end the calendar year, RT?
4-2.
Jono?
4-2.
6-0, baby. Let's get it done.
go.
Let's get it done.
I love to hear that.
Let's get
I
it
love to hear
done.
that.
That's optimistic. I love it.
Let's get it done.
Me and RT aren't delusional enough. I'm kidding. Dude. If we went 6-0,
Dude, it's gonna be
Johnny and I are
That
more
would be-
delusional 49ers fans than delusional Kings fans.
for sure.
Dude.
6-0 would be insane.
6-0
dude.
would absolutely.
That's a season changer.
People would start talking about the Sacramento Kings as the
different
dark
light.
horse in the West.
Yep.
Different light, and we would be in that top 6 spot because that's where all the teams are right now. It's like
Yeah.
a big cluster.
I know. So once we break out of that, we're so close to breaking through. Mm-hmm. We're so
Slow
close to
push.
breaking through.
Slow
you know
push.
what I'm doing? We're breaking through right now. We're this close.
Like Tiger Woods.
But before we sign off, I have 2 things I want to bring up. One, I wanted to show you guys this.
There it is.
Look what came in the mail.
Let's go.
That's beautiful.
De'Aaron Fox's first
Gorgeous.
signature shoe. It finally came in the mail. This is the Fox 1. This is called the Fox Day. The first drop. I had to get it. Beautiful orange and blue. Pass it around.
That's a beautiful shoe.
It's a beautiful shoe.
Wow. That's gorgeous.
Seeing pictures of it doesn't really.
No, I
do
think it
justice.
looks better in person.
No, it looks way better in
it's
person.
sick.
My
It's very
God.
light.
That strap is so cool.
It's a
That
foxtail.
design.
It's a foxtail. You feel right here. That's called the fox fur. Not actual fox fur. I think PETA would probably go crazy
maybe.
on De'Aaron.
Yeah, no way.
But they got the faux fur, beautiful design, blue and orange,
Wow.
and we got
the inside looks gorgeous
I
too.
know.
That's like a fox that's inside of it. That's so sick.
Have you put it on? Is it pretty comfortable?
I haven't put it on yet.
You're gonna have to
It
do
looks
a review.
Oh no, I know. I'm gonna do.
It's light too.
A lot of people have been doing reviews on this shoe. I'm gonna wait until I get the next 2, and I'm gonna do a review on all 3 because he's got 2 more releasing this year.
Ooh.
Yeah. that's
Next
super
thing I
light,
wanted
too.
to talk about was going into this podcast tonight. I thought it was going to be a 2-man show with me and RT. Johnny put on his story. Johnny was in Soda Springs,
Truckee, yeah.
Truckee area, and he was there for a nice little getaway, nice little winter wonderland. And speaking of winter wonderland, the snow came piling down. It was raining here past 4 days, so it was snowing there. And Johnny puts on his story on Monday today.
Today, this
And
morning.
his car was covered, and it looked like he wasn't going to make it out.
That was my car dug out too. You should have seen it Saturday during peak
Dude,
storm. I couldn't open my door.
I didn't think you were going to make it tonight. So tell us about your weekend, Johnny. I want to hear all about it.
Great weekend. Went up to our family place in Soda Springs, kind of near Sugar Bowl, just outside of Truckee, and we wanted to see Lil Wayne and Palisades.
Who did you go, who's we? Who went with you?
Oh, it was me and Michelle. We drove up on our own, and then my sister and brother-in-law met us on Sunday. So we originally had tickets to see Lil Wayne on Saturday at Palisades in Tahoe. That was the plan. We drive up Friday, and the storm hits in the middle of the night, and me and Michelle wake up in a winter wonderland. Like it was it was
You know
cool.
what it looked like? It looked like you were going to open the door and the snow was going to fall in. Is what it looked like.
So Saturday we were like, okay, because Lil Wayne got moved to Sunday, but they still gave us the ability to go to Saturday to see like Loud Luxury and some of the other DJs. So we were getting ready Saturday, and we were like, okay, like let's go. Like the car can't be too bad, right? Like, well, I'll just shovel some of the snow out, dude. So I go out. This is like it's dark at this point. It's like 5 or 6. I go out to my car. And I go with the shovel, and literally I felt like I was walking through a snowstorm. I was walking through a snowstorm, but I get back, and I'm like, Michelle, we can't go. The car is
The
buried.
Jeep
And she was just
Renegade.
like, you look like I was drenched. Like I was just, she was like, dude, you look like you just ran like a triathlon or something. I was like, Michelle, the cars, we can't.
Did
we're
you
at
bring
the middle of a
chains or
snowstorm.
no chains?
No, there's no chains like if you have 4-wheel drive and snow
okay,
tires and
okay.
stuff. So we were equipped.
Because the Jeep Renegade,
But-
from the way it looks on the outside, it looks like there's no way it's making it
Yeah.
through.
right, but we
No.
found out they
Jeeps
closed
are
the
4
road.
wheels though. Yeah.
They closed the road, so we wouldn't be able to drive up to Tahoe anyway. So
Oh.
even if I was able to dig out the car, it would have been impossible. We would have just been
Wow.
just stuck there. So, but
So
she
you're-
understood.
So you're
you
stuck
know.
at home Saturday.
So we were stuck at home, but it was a good time, for me and her to bond, and we had, obviously a fun time, just being in each other's company, and obviously it's more fun being with somebody during a snowstorm than by
I
yourself.
know.
So we made the most of it, and seeing my sister and brother-in-law on Sunday, and still seeing Diplo, which was really cool.
Okay. Shouts out Diplo.
Was awesome, and Palisades was a cool spot. That was my first time there, formerly Squaw Valley. So, but it was a cool venue.
But Lil
It was
Wayne
nice.
calling out last second.
Lil Wayne called out last minute.
That's tough.
Yeah. So that was tough.
That's like the Keegan Murray news today.
Yeah,
It's like a last minute disappointment. You're like, wait, this is the
Yeah.
reason why I came.
Lil Wayne. I think he just got too drunk or something at the Heisman celebration.
Something like that.
After he got the
Oh,
Travis
you're
Hunter shout out.
right.
Yeah.
Was that the same day?
The
I think it was the
Heisman
day
was on
before. I think
Friday,
it was the
right?
day before or 2 days before. I don't really remember.
Yeah.
I think it was either Friday or Saturday.
Yeah. So he was
Dang.
definitely active socially.
Yeah,
so
he was.
He probably heard about the storm Saturday. He's like, yeah, no,
He's
screw
like-
that.
he's
And
like, I
then,
don't
then it's like, wait, there's another storm Sunday.
He's like, not a chance am I
Not
going.
a chance.
Dang.
Not a chance. But it was fun, man.
We're just
It
glad you made it
most of
back. We're glad you made it back.
Oh,
I thought
dude.
you were going to be stuck there the whole week.
I drive through
I didn't think I'd see you till like next calendar year.
snowstorm, hurricane, tornado. I'm making the trek to record this podcast.
Let's go.
I'll put my life on the line, and I'm so glad
dog.
Michelle trusted me driving that snow because I was scared, but she was there to calm me down and
Good.
be a man about it.
Shouts
drive
out,
through that
Shouts
snowstorm.
out Michelle.
Passenger princess,
Yes, sir.
man. Passenger princess.
Shouts out Michelle.
Yeah.
RT, how was your weekend?
I was relaxing. It was
Good.
very relaxing.
With
yeah.
I'm almost done with. I'm officially done with the semester at Sac State, so I got one more semester to go before.
I thought you had one more week of school.
No, I have one more week at the school site, and then but at Sac State I'm
got it,
done.
got it.
I have like one more thing I got to turn in, and then I have one more week at the school, and then I have a 2-week break, and then go back to the school, and then I don't go back to college until late January.
Give the listeners how much, like where you are on your college
So,
timeline, like how much time you have left.
So I got one more semester left. So my interview process is actually the early interview processes start in January. So I got to be really prepared for that. I'm going to a big conference called Kazmec, which is like a big music education conference.
Goated.
Heard of it.
It's in the Memorial Auditorium this year, so that's going to be close. I don't have to
Ooh.
worry about driving to Fresno and like doing all that crap.
You know what they say about Fresno? Heck no.
Heck no to Fresno. Heck no to Fresno.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we will see you on Sunday.